Welcome to your practice with Yoga Ros. Today we're going to look at some hip opening poses. Remember to breathe smoothly throughout, meet your limits and enjoy your practice. You might want to grab a couple of yoga blocks or some strong cushions or maybe a couple of books to help. Beginning with seated Sukhasana and side bending. So just releasing the outside edges of the torso, opening the ribs, going with the flow of your breath. And then come to sit facing your props or even a wall and lengthen the sternum forward and resting the arms as you allow the body weight to draw into the lap. Let the thighs roll away from the midline. Take a couple of breaths here. You may want to stay here for up to 5 breaths. And then release. Cross the legs the other way. Find the center sit bones. And again, breathe in. And as you breathe out, reach forward. And you can take a more dynamic movement here if you want by reaching the arms up overhead as you breathe in. And exhaling, lengthening the side bodies, lengthening the heart away from the pubis and the pelvis. And again, extending into your forward reach, just a little bit more strongly if that's good for you. And then coming out onto all fours. Remember, there's no need to rush this practice, and you can take more breath cycles in each posture as you find you wish to. So, Virabhadrasana, the tiger pose. Setup is really similar to moving cat, but we're going to add the hip opening. As you breathe in, curl the right thigh away from the hip bone. Roll the shoulders into the back waist, lengthen the sternum waist, standing firm on the arms, breathing out, exhaling, draw the navel towards the spine and roll that knee towards the face, creating flexion, and repeat 2 times more, maybe even up to 5 times. Centering, just ease out the hips, roll the pelvis, release the shoulders. Into the second side, left hip releases away, opening the hip into extension, the buttock squeezes, it's quite a strong back bend, gives a lot of nourishment to the kidney area, and then as you exhale, rounding, creating that flexion in the spine, and the hip and the knee come forward to meet with the face. 2 to 5 times more, and then take the right foot forward for low lunge. Set the right ankle below the knee, shin is parallel, and ease your left knee back as far as is comfortable, pressing the top of the feet and toes into the mat. Stay here for a moment. Remember, you can always hold your prop, but as you rise the shoulders above the hips, press the palms into the hip crease and open the chest, you'll feel the muscles of the left hip open and press the base of the big toe in on that right foot. And then as your body releases to suppleness, bring your props on the inside of the right foot, surrender the body, perhaps bring the forearms down, easing into lizard. Variation, turn your right foot out, and even you may want to roll onto the outside edge of your foot and find a more interesting expression of this pose. And it does become a little bit easier with regular practice. Centering, bring the hands back onto that prop. Return the foot to centre, draw back to all fours. Bring the knees wide and soften the buttocks towards the feet. Open swan pose, extending into those groins, releasing any tension there. Walking back to all fours for low lunge. Left foot forward. Ankle below the knee, shin is parallel, and release that right knee back, pressing the feet and toes in. Remember, you can surrender your weight into the earth. Make sure that knee is safe, so you may want to put a towel under there or another yoga block if you require some padding. You can raise the torso, feel a little bit more weight bearing through that hip, and you can even raise the arms, finding Anjaneyasana crescent moon pose. And then bring hands on the inside of the foot. Maybe you feel able to take one or both forearms down. Let the pelvis come closer to the mat. Stay here for several breaths, softening into Uttanapishtasana, Prishtasana, the lizard pose, or take the variation. Walk your foot to the left side of the torso, foot turns 45 degrees, roll onto the outside edge of the foot, and easing the hips open. But really feel as comfortable as possible as you breathe smoothly through your lunge and lizard practice. Press hands in, draw body away from the earth, and then walking round into Malasana. Now press the feet in, finding the outer edges of the feet firm and strong, and the distance between the heels could be wider than mine. Everybody's different, so you'll need to explore what is the right position for your feet in this low squat. Maybe you take hold of your block, or you could have your hands on the wall and do your best to lift the chest and sit tall as you allow the base just to draw down into the middle of those feet and heels. Watch that the inner arches are lifted and you have remained very active in your feet. And as I say, you can support the body here. If you have progressed and you no longer need the props, draw the inner elbows inside the inside knees, press the palms into Namaste. Keep breathing. And if that is comfortably okay for you, you may even want to raise the arms. And you will feel the changing posture development as you practice regularly. Now, let's gently bring the seat onto the mat, shake out the legs, and as you draw the feet together, find an elongated diamond between the heels and your seat. Adjusting accordingly, and then relax the head and neck. Take a softening breath out as you gradually fold your body into the pose of Tarasana. Now this is a pose that you may feel lengthening the outside hips, drawing from the spine and the sacrum, and even opening up length in the iliotibial band. If this is quite comfortable for you, you can slide your hands underneath your shins and cup the feet and relax further into pose.